You guys request drones to be featured on the channel all the time, and this is specifically for you guys. and I love flying drones. It's a nice fun hobby of ours too. It's RC, so we love it. And today we're gonna test something that is sold on Amazon. This is linked in the description box below, and it's competitively priced with DJI drones. I actually just got the DJI Mini SE for Christmas. That's what Abby got me. And I've been flying it for fun, and so that's a $300 drone. This is about a $400 drone. Kind of going to compare this one to that drone as I'm flying it, and we're just going to fly this casually, see if it can handle the basics, because a lot of drones can't even handle the basics. Look at camera quality, flight time, realistic range, that sort of thing, and that's what today's video is all about. As the weather has broke, it's warming up just a little bit. I'm so happy and blessed to be outside enjoying God's country. Let's fly. Okay guys, let me remind you to never leave your home without your giant chopsticks that you can take off and land from. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's take off. There. Okay, we armed the motors. Now let's take off. There we go. Ah, Abby caught you sleeping on the job. So this drone, while we're doing our always stable hover test right here, I'll fly it out just a hair so it's not right in front of us. Has brushless motors, one thing that's always exciting, especially on a higher priced drone. That means a higher efficiency motor, and it's probably going to last a lot longer than a brushed motor. Also, this has a 2-axis gimbal, so a drone in this price range is pretty solid to have a 2-axis gimbal and a 4K camera, and I gotta say, that camera looks pretty good. Now this roller that I'm playing with on the top left does not adjust the camera up and down, but the one on the right does. Okay, so that was zoom on the left. That's super cool. Abby, look at this.
A zoom?
So I'm zooming with the top left roller, and it's just the digital zoom, so you lose image quality. I don't know how well that'll translate to you guys on the SD card, but the image quality on this drone, in my opinion, from what I can tell right now, is surprisingly really good. I'm really happy with this. Cool. Bravo. We flew the F11, the original F11 2 years ago, and loved it so much that we actually sold it to a buddy of ours. You guys may remember him, WJ, at our airfield, and he loves that drone. Absolutely loves it. I feel like we're in headless mode right now. Let me play around with this a little bit. I really do think we're in headless mode.
Or beginner mode.
Beginner mode, yeah. So what this is doing is when I pull back on the drone, it's not necessarily coming back, but yeah, the range is limited too. So what we're gonna do, guys, right here, we're gonna let this hover in the wind. It's doing great, beautiful shot. And we're gonna go up and try to adjust and get it out of beginner mode. And there, beginner mode is turned on, so we're just going to turn that off and save it. Now we're going to adjust. Yeah, give me a second here. Look at this, we can adjust our flight distance. We're not going to go anything crazy, but we'll adjust the altitude. Oh, okay. Abby's crazy. Abby's crazy. We're not going that high.
All the way up.
We're not going that far and that high.
Give the people what they want.
Okay, the return altitude, that's fine. Okay. Now the wind just picked up since we got here.
Of course.
Let's go back to our video mode here. And I don't think we're recording anymore, but we were on the screen there. Okay, so we're recording back to the SD card now. So beginner mode is going to limit the range the drone can go, the height the drone can go, and I think that's really smart for drones to come in beginner mode these days. Let's fly out and just enjoy this beautiful scenery. Let's fly up a little bit too. We are flying a drone after all. Guys, it's been a while. It's been a while since we've done a drone. It's just been so cold, and for us to pull off a good drone video, we really have to expose ourselves to the elements longer than we do for most of our other content. So it's just been really, really, really cold and bad weather, but here we are.
55 degrees today.
Oh, it's beautiful today, yeah. So look at this shot, Abby. Let's see if we can check out the little pond over here to the right. Let's just swing it around and angle the camera down. And is it frozen? Let's see. Let's swing down just a little too far. It still looks a little bit frozen, guys.
Snow on it. It probably doesn't get a lot of sunlight down there.
I'd say you're right. Let's get a little closer and check it out. That's so cool. It does look super shaded. So something has definitely walked across that ice. Absolutely has walked across it. So let's do this. I don't know how this will translate to the SD card, but we'll figure it out in editing. I want to zoom in digitally so I don't have to fly down to it, and I can see some type of tracks. I could not tell you what made those tracks or who made those tracks.
Zoom out a little bit.
I want to zoom back out.
It's a crest.
Kind of is like it.
That's cool.
It's like a giant A. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so now I actually do want to fly down a little bit closer because I lost quality on that digital zoom, so I want to fly a little closer and see what it looks like. This is actually really cool. What do you guys think left those tracks? It's hard for me to tell right now while I'm recording because I'm just looking at a phone, you know?
It almost looks like people walked on it too.
It almost does, but
I'm guessing that's just how it melted, maybe?
Possibly. Yeah, over on the left. I see what you're saying. That's really cool. Isn't that cool? Like, that's just part of the fun of flying a drone. We just never know what we're gonna see. That is awesome. I'm zooming in here again. And I love that digital zoom. You just use the rocker on the controller. And it is, look at that. It's telling me, you guys can't see this, but on my radio.
Well, I could see it
yeah.
if I did my job. There you go.
Check this out. So zooming in, and look, it says zoom in.
Yeah.
And then when I'm zooming out, it says zoom out.
Cool.
That's awesome. So far, I'm really pleased with this. I feel like the range is better than what I'm seeing on my little DJI, I think it's, what is it, the Mini SE? They have so many names of things. Like, I fly that thing just a few hundred feet and it starts losing its video quality.
I didn't want to buy that drone.
Well, I did, because that's DJI's cheapest drone they've ever made. So I was pretty excited for it. We're going to put it on the channel one of these days. But this one seems to have a better camera quality and so far pretty solid range. Now we're not gonna get any range like, you know, miles and miles away like we can on some of the multiple $1,000 drones, but look at this, Abby. I need to convert this to feet, but right now it's 260 meters away and we're still getting a really solid video quality here. Nice stream back. This is really good. They advertise on their box having good video range and 2-axis gimbal, and right now this video is silky smooth and pretty high quality. 300 meters out. 300 meters, this is really good. Awesome. I mean, I think we're like 1,000 feet out now for sure, right?
You're asking the wrong person.
I believe so. I believe so. 350 meters out. We're only 14 meters high, guys. We could fly up a little higher, but I'm just dealing with wind today. Wow. We are super far out. I did not expect this kind of range. I can just barely see the drone. It's just a little dot right now. My goodness. Wow. So right now, Abby can't see me on the camera. So what she's doing is watching me line of sight. And right now the camera, we're using it just for, yeah, you do see it. Yep. I can look up and, oh yeah. Yeah, I could fly a little farther out. I still see it.
Yeah.
So we're 380 meters out. We're just flying around the edge of this field. I'll start flying back in toward us now, and maybe we'll do a couple stability tests when we get closer. But so far, I'm really impressed with the camera quality, video range. This is much higher performance than I expected it to be. Now the wind picked up right there, and it started to knock me sideways just a hair. I get what I like to call like a little bit of fishtail or tail wag sometimes on this drone, so got to keep that in mind. But there we are, there's the vehicle. I'm going to fly in around us like this way. Sometimes we fly our planes in through this way, in between this tree on the left that you guys can see. We'll fly in low when we're flying a plane here and swing it in and around. Abby's probably going to start to get us here now that the camera's back closer. Yeah, and I'm going to fly a little line of sight here for a second. Dropping the altitude, bringing it in. Wow. Super cool so far. For a GPS drone, this is really nice. It comes with 2 batteries too, and that's another thing that gives it one up on that DJI Mini SE. If I'm comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges, it also comes with a really nice case, which I absolutely love, and DJI does not include the case. Now, yeah, it costs a little bit more than the DJI, but I think for $100 more, you're getting a better drone, in my opinion, from what I can tell so far. And a second battery and that case means the world to me. I mean, right now, I'm really impressed with this drone. I really like it. I wouldn't have sold the F11 to one of my good buddies, WJ, if it wasn't a good drone that I liked and trusted, and he flies that thing all the time. When they lose an airplane at the airfield in Death Valley, he takes the F11 out and finds stuff, and he's told me he's found a couple planes for friends before, so That's a cool use for the drone. All right, let's fly it out this way. Oh, you know what? Here's what I didn't do before we flew away. Let's bring the drone back a little bit. I like to do this gimbal stability test. So I say, Abby, you get a rock solid lock on the drone. Yep. You get it down just a hair. And I like to swing it around like a crazy person as much as I can. And what you guys are gonna look for is the gimbal, the camera on the drone. But we're gonna use Abby's camera as a reference so you can see how much this is rocking, right? See how much the drone is moving? But look how smooth the gimbal is. Abby, check that out. Really smooth. Okay, that's left and right. Now let's go all crazy directions. See if we can really make this thing work. For a 2-axis gimbal on just the right stick going this crazy, that is really smooth. I'm talking
very impressive.
As good as it gets. That's really good. Wow. Okay. There's no movement there. There's none. Now let's use the left stick too and really go crazy, okay? So this is where a 3-axis gimbal could come in handy when you're swinging left and right with the pivot too. But as long as you don't mind, have you watching it on the camera?
I'm watching everything.
As long as you don't mind a little bit of sharper motion left and right there, that's really smooth. So that's a really good gimbal. That is exceptionally good. And still crisp 4K video too. I really like this.
Does it show your battery life on there?
Yeah, so there's a green bar at the top of my screen right now, and that tells us telemetry live back to your phone to say, hey, you know, you've used about half of your battery.
But there's a little battery up there in the top right too.
11.5 volts, and then you can also see we only have a 16 gig card in here right now, and we have used, you know, it's only 15 gigs is accessible. We've only used I don't know, about 2.5 gigs right now. Cool. Close to it.
That's a really good battery life. You're looking at like 20 minutes or more of flight.
Seriously good. And it came with 2 batteries.
Oh wow.
So that's really good. We also have telemetry on the radio, so Abby, get a shot of that really fast.
Okay.
See down here underneath GPS mode, it's telling us distance and height and then speed. It's also telling us it's recording. All this telemetry is still here on the radio, which is really sweet too. So this is everything that I would want in a GPS camera drone. It's very silky smooth. Let's fly it out just a little bit more, see what we can see over here, and then we'll wrap this video up because we don't want it to be like a, you know, 2 or 3 hour long video. Just absolutely insane. Look at that sunset. Look at that beautiful sunset from the drone too. Let's get a nice high shot. Guys, we can fly up to 400 feet if we want to. Let's push it up pretty high and just get a really nice beautiful aerial view and see how this thing handles height, because it's going to be really windy up there. The sun glare is really pretty.
You still got snow on the ground too.
Oh yeah, look at that water out there. Wow. Here we go. We're just going to rotate around a little bit. As I'm only 50 meters up, but I just want to get like a little bit of a panning shot, smooth it around. There's preset shots we can do in here. There's follow me, but I never really do those kinds of things because I feel like 99% of people that fly drones don't even mess with that stuff. I personally never do.
Didn't you say you saw in the instructions there was like a find my drone thing?
There is, yeah. So if this would fail and crash somewhere, you hit a tree or something like that, you would be able to hit find my drone, which is really cool, as long as it still has battery. I've heard horror stories about people losing their drones. I'm now flying back here to this other pond. I want to check it out. I've heard horror stories of people hitting a tree, losing their drone, and it's just gone forever. They might spend days looking for it, and not the case with this one. I think that's really good. I didn't think this would come with so much stuff packed into it, and it's really, really awesome. We're already 10.5 minutes in from this second time, you know, we had to reset.
Yeah, you're almost to 14 minutes.
This is really good. I'll tell you what, I'll fly it out to this pond to check it out, right? And then I'm going to hit return to home and see how it does. See how close it can land back to my chopsticks. And I'm probably going to actually step out and catch it, just because muddy. It's really muddy. So that's what we'll do. Check that out. I believe that's basically fully frozen.
Oh yeah,
but
very cool.
The ice is starting to melt just a little bit. Okay, so we saw the pond. I want you guys to see about where we are here. Turn back around.
I think we're behind the tree.
That's us. Now I can see.
Oh no, there you are.
I can see the vehicle. So now let's hit return to home, and yeah, slide, return to home. It's a free app. just like always. I mean, it's booking now. It's flying really fast. Wow, that's awesome. It's coming back quick. We still have about a third of our battery. It says 11.3 volts. This is a nice drone, Abby. Yes, I could see us flying this through the summer.
Yep.
This is a really nice drone.
It's right above us.
Well, that's a good thing because we landed, you know, right there.
Chopsticks.
It's doing its thing. Everything that's happening right now is from the drone. It actually orientated itself or reoriented itself to take off. It's landing the same direction it faced when it took off. And I'm not sure that all drones do that. I feel like they don't. So that's pretty cool. We're just waiting on it to descend. Drones have gotten a bit smarter about auto landing. They come down a little slower because the faster a drone drops, the shakier it is. So a good drone will have like a slow descent. Here we go. I need to actually stop it. Okay, so I stopped it.
Good job.
All I did.
It was pretty close.
All I did was stop the return to home so I could show you guys how close it's going to land.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping throttle up because I don't want it to land in the snow. I'm actually really impressed with this drone, and even from the start, a lot of times you buy a drone that's not DJI and it's not $1,000 and you get really bad instructions and the user experience is just kind of like not there. This was great. Abby and I used the instructions to get it bound and take off because every drone is just a little bit different. When you turn it on for the first time, you calibrate it for the first time, and the instructions did an extremely great job at getting it right the very first time. There was no guesswork. We did exactly what it said and it went right in the air in about 2 minutes. So I applaud whoever put this thing together to set up a nice quality GPS camera drone. If for some reason you don't love DJI's privacy policies and that sort of thing, and some people don't, or maybe you just don't like them because you've had a bad experience, but you want a good GPS drone, you also don't want to pay for the name brand price of DJI. I mean, it's good to have competition on the market. This is actually one of the most outstanding drones that I've had my hands on that's not a DJI drone. I really wish Zero still existed. You guys remember Zero? There was also like the Parrot Bebop, you know, there was some good...
The Blade.
Blade was good. Some pretty good contenders out there in the drone world. And then DJI just took over. Well, this guy, the F11, has been around for a long time. And now they have the upgraded version, which is linked in the description box below. And we have a $60 off coupon right now, at least at the time of recording this, that you can click while you're there at the Amazon store to buy it. I'm so grateful we got out to fly today in 50-degree weather and had such a really good experience. And I hope you guys enjoyed your time watching this beautiful drone footage and just hanging out with us for a little bit. And I want to thank God for that. I want to thank you guys for watching, and just know that you are loved, not just by us, but by God, and it's a beautiful world. And I just want to encourage you to spread some love and cheer and joy and enjoy the freedoms that we have. Just soak it up like a sponge. It's just, why not, you know? Why do anything other than that? So go do that, go be happy. And I want to say, because of our happiness, thanks to our Patreon supporters, you guys have encouraged us to do what we do for years now. And I'd like to invite anyone to sign up that would like to see more content like this, linked in the description box below. We'll have another drone video popping up for the drone person that just can't get enough right about now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.
Bye.